Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back. Today I'm playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem, which is staples, ribbon or twine, and paint. I'm also playing along with Off the Board, and we're supposed to use a quote or a meme. And so here is today's quote or meme that I pulled off of Pinterest. And I am working on my first picture well, this picture is from last Christmas, but this is the first picture I'm scrapbooking of our dog Taylor since she crossed the Rainbow Bridge about a month ago. And so, I had some memories while I was putting this layout together. So, we'll see how we do on this voiceover and see if we can get through this here. So, she was looking really well. This was one of her favorite spots to sit on our couch, and so she almost always was just sitting there every time I came out of my office. And so when we started getting the Christmas decorations out, we had these little hats, and I actually think, well, the pink one was from when Hope was a little baby, and the red one that you're going to see in another layout some other time, I don't know if it was a dog one or just a decoration or maybe like a baby one with a headband that you put on a baby. Anyway, so I put this Santa hat on her and took a couple pictures because, she, like the quote says, that she would rather just take naps and just jingle half the way. So that was what made me think of her, that she's just like, ugh, come on, I just want to take a nap. So I had this frame from the 49 Market, and so I am just cutting my picture to fit inside of the frame. That it wasn't printed big enough to go from side to side, so I decided I would just uh, mat the entire background and then put the picture on the inside. So that's what I'm working on, is just trimming it up little by little to get it to fit in. And so here's where I'm going to start. Oh, I do add some foam adhesive so it kind of pops up and off of that Polaroid frame. So I'm going to start working on the mixed media part. So for Mixed Media Mayhem, it was staples, ribbon or twine, and paint. And so the first part I'm going to do is paint. And I had to be very careful because this was a pre-made page that I created in a class that I took with Janine Meyerowitz from 49 Market last fall. And it is with the Vicky Booten Christmas line that came out last year. Let's see, what was it called? Mistletoe and Memories. And so I didn't want to warp the page too bad, so I'm just doing this very lightly. So I take my paint and I'm using my brayer, and I'm just going to kind of lightly put it over this black plaid paper just to make it look a little more distressed. Now, obviously, since my picture takes up a lot of the page, you're not seeing a lot of the paint, but you do see some of it sticking out around the picture frame. So there is my paint from the recipe. So here is my ribbon. I had some bright pink velvet ribbon, and I am going to fold it kind of funny so the velvet is showing upwards both ways. Here I'm going to use my staple, my tiny Tim Holtz tiny attacher, and I'm going to attach it to that tag that says Hey Santa. So now I've met all three criteria. I've got my staples, my ribbon, and paint. And let's see. So, and then I've met my off the board for my quote or meme. So the rest of it, I'm really just kind of putting it all together here. So I did originally, before I remembered that I needed to use the ribbon, I guess I could have technically cheated and used that laser cut ribbon that you can see down below, but I couldn't decide whether to put it sideways, like with the tag, or to put it so it was visually up and down. And that was when I ultimately decided to not use the laser cut bow and to switch to the actual velvet ribbon. And let's see, so now I'm pulling out some of the laser cut stars and just using some of those around as decoration. So since I did have that paint on the background and that there was some additional uneven areas, that I did use both tear tape and liquid adhesive on the tag. And I think I do the same with the stars as well. And I do eventually use a pop dot on, I believe, one or two of the stars that I use around the layout. So I put stars here, I put them up above the Hey Santa, and then I put a couple up on the teal ribbon piece that is part of the actual frame, but it's printed to actually look like ribbon itself. So I guess I'll just take a few minutes here just to talk about my puppy, that I do miss her, that she was 12 years old and had started to have some heart conditions, and she was starting to have lots of seizures and everything. And so we did have to make the difficult decision to help her to cross the Rainbow Bridge, but we were all there with her, saying goodbye and letting her know how much we all loved her. So you will still probably see lots of her, because I still have a lot of pictures to scrapbook of her, and I do have a few more left within this album here. And so there I was, kind of giving her a little pet there at the end. So here are the close-up shots, and if you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave those down below. I will have a playlist for both Mixed Media Mayhem as well as Off the Board listed down below, so go check those out and say hello to everybody else playing along. Thanks for watching. Bye.